Hello, my friends. I have some live recordings from when Gypsy was, going on a bunch of panels with the FBI. And this is from early November. So I wanted to share some of the stuff that she was saying on those panels because I screen recorded this stuff, but I never did anything with it. And it's just crazy to listen to it now.
I was like, I'm not watching this stupid ass shit. And that's
I was just a little taken back by it because I was like, I hadn't checked out her lives or anything. Yeah. So those two messages to scrolling by her live, and I hear her be just talking all kinds of crap and being like, oh yeah, she's just bashing a dead woman and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, can I just point out the fact that if nobody wants to be talked about in a negative way after they are no longer on this earth, then be a good fucking human being. You don't see anybody talking good about Hitler because he was a terrible, shitty human being.
Exactly.
It's hard to talk good about someone when they were a shitty human being. I'm sorry.
What is your intentions with my friend?
What's your aspiration in the future?
Well, I'm not really talented at much. I always seem to. I'm a klutz, and I always say if it could be fucked up, I'd probably fuck it up. So I'm not really talented at much. But as an aspiration for the future, I definitely, even if I didn't have my daughter or a partner, I would love to see the 7 wonders of the world. I have an interest in travel.
That's really nice.
I would just really like to visit all the places that I've dreamed of visiting.
You're going to have to get yourself a camper van then, and you can travel with her.
I would love that.
Well,
I do like taking pictures. I was buying a medication. Brie, can I say that medication on here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I was buying Suboxone. So Suboxone was being brought in by inmates and guards because inmates get high on that. Yes, it is a medication to get people off opiates, but when you're not using it, you need it to get off of drugs, you get high off of it. So I was in my addiction of getting high. It was not for seizure medication. I had borrowed $50 from Christy. I lied to Christy. I told her that I broke a girl's CD player because I needed an excuse for Christy to give me $50. And I used that $50 to buy Suboxone to get high. The only time I ever took a seizure medication was when I was first arrested, and the state paid for that. The state, when upon arrest, there was no trace of seizure medication in my bloodstream. And so they gave me a dose of Keppra upon arrest. And so the first phone call I probably had with my dad, or the next few phone calls while I was in Waukesha County Jail, I probably did tell him, I don't know if it cost me anything or blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was a decade ago, so I don't remember specifics, but that's the last time I ever took seizure medication was over a decade ago.
You'll remember if she told the truth. Actually, what she just said makes fucking sense. So here's the thing. So she took seizure medication her whole life. So that was one of the first that was very early on when she went to prison. This is before she knew half of the shit that she didn't need to even take. She just said they gave her seizure medication upon going to the prison. So when she talked to her dad, she, at that time, still believed that she needed to take seizure medication.
This probably would have been the same phone call that I said, Daddy, I didn't do it.
That's so disgusting to say you would remember if you told the truth. You ever heard of PTSD? People don't realize when y'all say things like that, you're invalidating not just abuse victims. I'm talking about people that that have served overseas. Anybody who forgets anything because of PTSD.
I'll answer the question. And I can't give dates. I can't give years. I'm asking you about an email that I have no idea what the date and the year is.
I mean, if it was Starlight up in here, she'd be asking you, why you drink that in a baby bottle? Always. She's obsessed with that baby bottle. She's obsessed with that bottle like Gimpy Rose is obsessed with bald head.
What was your favorite childhood memory, if you had any favorite memories?
Believe it or not, I actually do have a few good memories with my mom. And one of them being that there was this certain kind of like, it's a clover flower type of thing. It grows where clovers are. And you know those like white little flowers? There was a spot in City Park here in Louisiana. It's near New Orleans. And when I was little, my mom used to take me to City Park. And we would lay in the clover field. And she would make me a crown of clovers all woven together. And we would have a clover fight. Like whenever you grab the clovers and you throw it at each other. That was a good, happy memory for me.
And what's your favorite cake?
My favorite cake is red velvet cake.
Oh, I love a velvet.
With cream cheese icing. For the rest of my life, I really hope that I could rise above even more than I already have and become a better version of myself that far exceeds my expectations of myself. And what I mean by that is I hope that one day, because I don't see it in myself right now, but I hope to be someone that I could look in the mirror and actually be proud of, and not just say I'm proud of myself because it gets me through the night, but actually look at myself and have the same view of myself as my family does. And I feel like when I get there, then that means I'm doing some good in the world by doing things for other people, because I think that I find my worth in helping people. And I feel right now I'm not in the best of the ability that I wish I could be. So hopefully someday I could actually advocate and people actually listen to me and make a difference. So maybe someday. Yeah, that really is all
Fuck
that
them
matters.
hoes, brah. In the words of Woo Woo Bestie, fuck them hoes, brah.
She's in the chat.
And for anyone who's listening on outside, licking windows, licking Discord screens, whatever wherever you're at, I hope that you, even if you didn't learn a lot, I hope that you learned a little. Or if anything, I hope you gained insight on what empathy looks like.
Questions you had with so-and-so 10 years ago?
No. Well, and their
Because it's not
emails wouldn't be out there for
relevant
everybody
in your
either.
daily life. So if I don't remember something, or if I, don't remember it correctly, that's because it's not relevant in my daily life. Like Bree said, I have a kid. You know what, my daily life, I am not obsessed with my past as much as these content creators are. I'm not picking apart every single sentence I've ever said in my life. And they weren't subject to FOIA either. And this is coming from a lawyer. Those emails were not subject to FOIA. The facts are the prison is the one that gave the emails out. And the lady that worked in the mailroom in the prison, she hated me. It shows my immaturity throughout the years. I feel like Aurora has centered me and calmed me so much by her being the focus of like my energy and my family, instead of being so involved on, okay, I'm gonna sue this content creator for this, because at the end of the day, it's some bullshit.
They probably ain't got no money either anyway.
They don't, so there wouldn't be any end game for me to sue them anyway.
Probably most of them anyway, especially not fancy.
Oh God, no.
That's the truth.
When it comes down to it, anyone that supports me, I think we could all collectively agree, nobody supports murder. Nobody is supporting that. Nobody is saying, hey, you did the right thing. Absolutely nobody. None of my friends, none of my family, no supporter. They're not supporting the crime. And I think that's what people, the haters think that support is. Nobody is supporting the crime. They are supporting the perseverance to move forward and create a better life and become a better person as a second chance. They are supporting a second chance.
Yep. Exactly. That's why when Kiwi's on today, they're okay. They justifying whenever.
No, nobody's justifying. Everybody can say, hey, yeah, Schmurder is wrong. Nobody should commit schmurder. We all collectively understand that. And at the end of the day, regardless of how abused I was, how this, that, and the other, my mother's life should have never been taken. And I own that. And I admit to that. And I understand that. But I cannot put my family and the life that I have created on the back burner to tell every single person that says you should have been in prison and stayed in prison, okay, yes, I'm a schmurderer. I deserve to rot in hell. I'm just going to crawl up in a ball and eat myself alive in guilt. I have a little girl that needs me. I have a partner that loves me. I have a dad. I have a stepmother. I have a sister. I have a brother that all are supporting me to push on and be a better person. My dad is a no-nonsense, tell it like it is. He's a man of few words, but whenever he has something to say, he gives it to me straight. And he's not afraid to hurt my feelings. He'll say, Boo, I love you, but you did wrong. You fucked up, and now you got to make it right.